Welcome to the Great Bay Foundation podcast, Social Entrepreneurs. In their own words, Catherine Clark is a leading authority in the field of social entrepreneurship, social investing, and social impact assessment, and an experienced social investor, consultant, and educator. Ms. Clark joined the faculty of Columbia Business School in 2001 and founded and directs Columbia's research initiative on social entrepreneurship. At Great Bay's December conference, Ms. Clark discussed the importance of social impact assessment and describes the ways in which nonprofits need to define their theory of change and collect compelling data to document or tell the story of how well their activity creates sustainable social change.
Hi, I'm Kathy Clark. I direct the Research Initiative on Social Entrepreneurship at Columbia Business School and also teach at CASE, the Center for the Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship at Duke University. And I have been talking with the people here at the Great Bay Foundation and their portfolio about social impact assessment, which is kind of a funny topic because a lot of social entrepreneurs struggle with the best way to convey their social impact but not spend a great deal of time and money doing so. It turns out that when you look across the field of what people have done in this area for the past 10 to 15 years, there's been a great deal of experimentation, and some things have worked very well and some things have not worked so well. There's still a lot of room for improvement. One of the important kind of conceptual things that we've learned about this field is that there are different ways to tell a story, and trying to define very clearly the theory of change that you are using in your enterprise up front can help you clarify that story and to be able to tell a very compelling story, but with compelling data behind it. And there are different kinds of data that social entrepreneurs need to use. One kind of data is output data, which is particular things about your activity that you can measure. How many people are in the program, how many people complete a program. Often it's your daily operational metrics that are your output data. And those output data often relate in very interesting ways to the ultimate outcomes that you're trying to get to, and we call that outcome data. An increase in educational achievement, a decrease in recidivism rate, changes to ongoing measures of societal problems. And then social scientists tell us that impact is something different on top of that, which is a change in outcome that can be attributed to your intervention. And that's what real social impact is. Turns out, most social entrepreneurs do not need to prove social impact for quite some time. What they need to do is define their outputs very clearly, define their outcomes, their desired outcomes very clearly, and make a really compelling case for how their activity relates one to the other. And then perhaps in the future, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, sometimes even more, they can do a real impact study with a third-party academic or research institution who can come in and say, we're going to set up a control group, or we're going to set up the right kind of study to prove your impact. It's often very expensive, it's often very time-consuming, it's very important, but it's really not where people should start.
To learn more about the work of the Great Bay Foundation, we invite you to visit our website, www.greatbayfoundation.org.